Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto and to the new version of the analysis. New content, not for paid subscribers, of course not. We will do it with Phoenicia, you know it. But for those who are free subscribers, I have tweeted my decision, so I will stop to provide the analysis even with 24 hours delay. From now on, we are starting today with that, so only the initial comment will be shared also with those who are free subscribers. Now we can talk about why, but we did it in the past and it didn't work. So obviously I can understand that's a hard time for everyone. You know, that, some are saying it's a bear market. Yeah, it's a bear market. Of course it's a bear market, but if it's a bear market and this market is not attractive for you, leave. Why are you still trading? And if you are trading even in a bear market and you're using my data, you don't want to contribute a little bit? I mean, $7 when I see that other people are just crazy. I mean, some $150, some $50, $20. I think I'm one of the most cheapest guys here. And since over a year, every single day, almost every single day, providing the data. If you like it or not, if you don't like my comment, that's okay. But then, you know, it is what it is. So the whole thing started as a community thing, and I have noticed it doesn't work. It's one thing is to say it's a community thing. The other thing is really to demonstrate that we are a community, we support each other, but it's not happening. I'm not talking in general because of course I have people who are making those contributes, and I have to say I have paid subscribers who are paying once in a year much more than they really need to, because I have that $70 annual subscription where you save 2 months, and they are even paying much more. And I never heard anything about, hey, you could make a better content, hey, you can add something. No, they like what I'm doing, they like what I'm saying, and that's it. And to be honest, thank you for it, because I don't need this money because I need to pay my personal bills. I'm very honest with you. I have a really good job. I'm making good cash with this job. And what I'm doing here, it's for you, it's not for me. I don't need that. I mean, I'm not even trading. If I were to trade this market, this wrecked market, I need which indicators I need to check, and I will trade based on it. So I'm just doing it for you guys. And you know what I don't get is, I mean, as long as I see that it's a fair ratio between what I'm providing and what the community is providing to me. But when I see that almost 30% of my subscribers are converting automatically to free, so they are not leaving, they are not canceling the whole subscription, so only the paid one, converting to free, I need to think why. And it's not new. It's happening once again since the last 6 weeks. I didn't say anything about that. I was just noticing it and just saying, okay, let us see how far, how much they want to do it. And, and I see it's happening more and more and more. And that's the point where I say, okay, I know, I'm fine with that. Because if I don't provide the free sub version, it takes almost 20-30 minutes less, and that's cool for me. 20-30 minutes I can spend more time with my family and friends. So thank you for it. Really thank you. I'm not someone think, yeah, I heard you sound a little bit sad. No, it's not the case. It's really not the case. I'm spending too much. I mean, I'm making good money with my job, but good money also means you need to spend more time. You need to, it's a stressful job with a lot of responsibility and so on and so forth. So today I just did the decision to stop providing the free version with the on-chain data and only the initial comment. So because in the past also some people just said, please, please, please do whatever you want with the free subs, but keep sharing your initial comment. And that's what I'm going to do. With Phoenicia, a lot of things will change, and we are working on it, and we are extremely in delay, but also due the fact that I don't have a lot of time, and also because a lot of people depends on how I want the whole structure and concept be realized. So yeah, I'm the bottleneck here, unfortunately. Anyway, we are working on it. It looks, in my opinion, very good. And so the next point is that we are going to provide a free sub plan as well, but some advertisement will be visible for those because that's how it works. I mean, let us be straight. It's a business. So I'm doing right now just decisions based on business. And let us do it. So in the future, you will have to certain content again access, but of course not the full. And for paid subscribers, we will add much more content. Much more content. We will have also different plans so that it fits to you and what you are looking for and so on and so forth. But we will talk about that later on. Now let us talk about a little bit what's happening in the crypto market. Today a little bit volatile. A lot of things is happening. You see that they decided to push up once again. This market is a pure wrecked market. It's only about to wreck you. It's only about that. That's why I'm not trading. I could trade. How many times I was saying, we will go up. We did it. We will go down. We did it. I have said, we will go up. We did it. I mean, I could make money with such a market, but I don't care. I really just don't care. Because for me to trade this market was a hobby. It was passion. It was really a market that was fascinating me. Today, this market is just a pure, let us create more victims. I'm not supporting it. That's the only thing. So I'm not trading. I'm just not trading, and I'm not going to trade. And hopefully, regulators will make a good job. And a lot of shit what's happening will stop. Let us talk about regulators. Well, first of all, it seems crypto is becoming more and more and more a geopolitical tool. Now Hong Kong, China, is pushing their banks to be involved in crypto as well. That's bullish, of course, but why now? Why now? You remember just 2 years ago they banned crypto in China. Why now? At that time, US was much more bullish on crypto than today. Even, and I still think that's the case, the US isn't bearish on crypto. That's the same transition that China did, only not that aggressive. Because many people is now celebrating China and Hong Kong related to crypto. But it seems you forgot what China and Hong Kong did in 2021, where they just said, we are going to ban everything related to crypto. And that's also a big problem I see in this market. It's very infantile. It's just Today you are bad, tomorrow you are good just because you are pushing my bags. That's a little bit, okay, maybe from business perspective, I could say, yeah, you're right, come on, fuck them. But, it's not only that. We are now talking about something bigger. And that could be also a huge problem for crypto. I remember when Russia and China started to become more and more bullish on Bitcoin, because they said, for later on, if we need to make any kind of transactions, we could use Bitcoin blockchain, so Bitcoins, to make some transactions. For example, between Russia and Iran. I mean, I have said that would be bullish. That would be bullish for Bitcoin. And I think it was also part of Satoshi Nakamoto. His idea, it is untouched value. I wouldn't say store of value, but value. It's decentralized. So no one can just go there, take the cable and say, or the plug and say, now all these Bitcoins are mine. So I like it. But, like risk in reward. Right now I see, the risk, it's shifting more and more and more to risk. Why? Well, you can imagine, if the whole thing between the West and the East, or China, Russia, because it's not true, it's not just West versus East, because Venezuela is not in the East, South Africa, what is that? Is that East? Is that Asia? No, of course not. So, the whole thing, what's happening right now, could be a huge problem, not only for the market in general, because that could make a lot of governments to be extremely bearish on crypto. At least those who don't agree with the policy of Russia, China, and co. So the BRICS, for example. You remember what I said, US dollar versus gold, for example. South Africa and African nations started to announce, hey, let us dump our US dollars. Why do we need US dollars? Yeah, you're right. You don't need US dollar. But it was the same case just 3 decades before. Why did you just use US dollars then and now you are not doing it? Or why are you now saying, well, that's like, when you have a guy that's running and, he's just falling because of, a stone on his way. And then 2 or 3 other guys come and say, look, he is on the floor, let us kick him. That's what they are doing. They are noticing that the US and the West is showing a little bit of weakness. And so the only thing what they are doing right now is kicking them. Something where I would say, well, it's fair. Because, to be honest, what the West did in Africa in the last 45 centuries, let us talk about centuries, it was just painful to see it. Nobody cared. Okay, like also many nations in Asia, what the West did there. Nobody cared. The West didn't care when China opened their market. The whole Western nations went there to construct plants, to use cheap Chinese stuff. And, well, it was looking like a little bit slavery. Nobody cared. Nobody. It was everything wonderful, right? It wasn't. Well, now the whole story is flipping. That is good and that's bad. It depends where you are living. I think, and I like that. The whole thing was triggered by China and the Silk Route, what they are constructing, just providing liquidity to modernize the infrastructure and so on and so forth. Of course, a coin always have 2 faces, 2 sides, So not everything is perfect and good. But the US and the West didn't anything different in the past with IMF, with World Bank. They did exactly the same just before. They did it with South American countries, Central American countries, African countries, and so on and so forth. Only just 20 years ago, 10 years ago, they killed governments, they killed presidents, democratic elected presidents in the past. They created riots, they fund riots just to, okay, that's maybe too far away what I'm talking about, but the thing and the point is, what is happening right now with crypto? The West, US, regulation. Even Gary Gensler is saying it's not against crypto, and he is absolutely right. It isn't possible to be part of crypto and to say, yeah, it's great to have Wild West. So the mass strength guy is the guy who should be the leader of a group. Yeah, that's what happened in Germany in the 30s and the end of the 30s. That was exactly the same case. That's not what I want to have even in a market. I want to have rules that are fair to everyone, that protects also the investment of the little guy. Maybe you would say, well, Inspo, is that really what regulation wants? Well, yeah, that's the root idea, is to protect the investment of everyone, not only of the wealthy guys. Of course, we could say, yeah, you are right. Of course, the government, the Fed, and so on and so forth is in favor of the wealthy guys. That's the only explanation why they are raising interest rates, but at the same time, just pushing and pumping more liquidity to the markets, to the wealthy one, institutionals, banks, and so on and so forth. And I have said they can do it. They can do it, and that's why inflation will not decline a lot, while the crude is maintaining in price. But as soon one of all these red flags we have will implode, it's over. It will trigger just a chain reaction, and it will happen. And once again, those in control, yeah, they failed once again. They failed. It's just simple to say, they failed. But one thing doesn't have to do with the other thing. To protect customers, to protect investment. I lost money with DeFi because just one used and manipulated a BSC fucking protocol, smart protocol, just removing some code parts that you can't just check as someone that is not familiar with this code on MetaMask. So emergency withdrawal was out of the code. No one, and they fucked not only me, other people as well. We need a protection against such scammers. We need protection of people who are spoofing, who are manipulating, because a market is really simple. We have demand and we have supply. And both has to work. If someone else is using any kind of tools to manipulate the market in its interest, is a market disruption. And that's not how it works. Even if it's in your favor. If you are someone who is saying, I like the market, I like what it means to trade, then you can't be a fan of what's happening. It is impossible. You can't see how this market is, for example, what they are doing right now. CBD, cumulative volume delta, it's only indicating if they are selling more than buying or buying more than selling. You see that the biggest pair with Tether, BTC USDT, even aggregated, it's just declining. They are selling more. USD not doing anything, looks neutral. So they are buying and selling. It's neutral. That's the net flow. But BUSD push up at the same time, like synchronized with coin margin contracts and stablecoin futures. Tell me, how is that possible as the only one? The same exchange that today appeared in different head titles, where, for example, France, one of their global hubs, is now investigating Binance because of money laundering. Okay, now we can say, why? And that's someone else did this question, and he is absolutely right. Why now Binance and not just before FTX? Yes, that's exactly the thing. But do you know what? Regulation have the same rules for everyone. Wild West, it's you yes, you no. That's exactly the point. And yes, you are right. Of course they used FTX for money laundering as well. Some rumors even that the president of the US was using related to Ukraine to wash some money there. It's a rumor, no one knows. And to be honest, if you have some proof, shut up, because they will kill you. So, but that's the thing. And yeah, of course they will use, and they have used, Binance for money laundering, because it was a Wild West market. It is still a Wild West market, because nobody cared if you had an ID, if you exist or not, if your ID was false or fake or whatever. Nobody cared. Of course they used those exchanges for money laundering. The question is, why is France now pushing to that? Why is Dutch or the Dutch regulators, for example, it seems, demanding material stuff, documents from Binance that Binance can provide? And that's why they said, okay, we are taking exit from Netherlands because we are not going to get any license there. How is that possible? MiCA? European Union? One regulation framework? How is that possible? Means to me, bye-bye Binance in Europe. But also, maybe, bye-bye Binance in the US. So Binance is going to be an exchange that maybe will get a license in Russia and China and all the BRICS countries. All these. And are you noticing what's happening here? That's not bullish, guys. That's not bullish. It's like to be the child and you have your parents and both are just discussing. When the little guy is saying something, usually he will get a slap from both sides. You know, it's the case. And that's what's happening here as well. I don't know. I mean, as mentioned, I don't even care if someone used Binance for money laundering. And I guess not only Binance. Check Bitfinex. Check Coinbase. Check others. I guess it's the same shit. It happened there as well. And yeah, it seems that someone wants to kick CZ and Binance out of the big crypto global players. It's also possible. But who cares? I was a big fan to have a global regulatory body. But if the fronts are escalating between those who are pro-gold-based currencies and USD, for example, just to make an example, just to make these bipolar or multipolar geopolitical trend streams more clear, in my opinion, that the whole construct what they are building is extremely dangerous for crypto. It's extremely dangerous for crypto and will not allow to have a global rule. And to be honest with you, if that's not going to happen, crypto will fail. China was saying in 2021, Bitcoin is a threat for the civilization. And now Bitcoin is good for us? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not 20. I'm not 25. Okay, it's really hard to fool me now. I'm a little bit older. And that people, without to think, are celebrating it. Yeah, wow, China, yeah. So tomorrow God, and the day after it's evil. We don't care. We really just don't care. That's stupid. That means you don't have any kind of principles. Absolutely nothing. In my eyes, those people who don't have any kind of principles are worthless. Today they are your friends, tomorrow you have the knife in your back because of that. So that's my opinion. Once again, just of course my opinion, because that's the Inspocrypto initial comment. That's what I'm saying. And it seems that's the path. In my opinion, we are so fucked, and you guys are celebrating just the green dildos, but when the dildo will be in your asshole, you will cry. And that's the big problem I'm seeing since I'm involved in crypto. Over and over again. You are bad! 2 weeks later, yeah, you are the great one. Jesus, guys, really? Really? Come fucking on, wake just fucking up. The whole thing is becoming much bigger and extremely, in my opinion, extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous and risky. Because everything what I thought it will happen, that crypto will be our common future, a global market, whatever. But when? If we start to separate, if we start to split, if we start to say, no, I'm going to regulate the market in that way, you can do whatever you want. That's not a global market anymore. Just only because I can send Bitcoin from US to China doesn't mean it's a global market. If I have different trade rules, for example, that's not what the banking sector have. Just make the question why it's the case. Why are banks mass adopted? Why? Because they did it. Because they pushed banks to mass adoption, bringing global rules to everyone with little gaps because of cultural things. But that's what happened. If they start to the opposite for crypto, it's a fucking trap. It's just a fucking trap. They will kill this market. And many outside just even influencers. Bitcoin to 5 million in 2 months, almost. Where I say it's just a chart. It's just a fucking chart. It's like a timing bomb in your hands. It's just a clock. It's just until it implodes or explodes in that case. I could yell 24/7 at the moment. I really could just yell. And it's really fucking crazy what's happening. It's really fucking crazy because China or Hong Kong is saying, yeah, we want to be a global crypto hub with your own rules. Really? That's what you have in mind? So today we have these rules, and tomorrow maybe we will seize every fucking asset. We will close the centralized exchanges with all your money there. And as you are foreign alien and not a Chinese citizen, we don't care if you get your money back or not. Is that the fucking case? Is that our crypto future? I only know that Hong Kong is talking about regulation with Saudi Arabia. And that's it. But I see other streams with Europe, with the US, with other countries, allies of the US, for example, what these guys are doing. And that doesn't look like they are talking together. It looks more, oh, the US is regulating more? Well, then we are bullish on crypto. And the same. Oh, the Fed is tightening? Let us reduce the interest rates here. They are doing exactly the opposite. The opposite. And that's crazy. It works short term. Because all those who don't have any principles, also in the US, will say, oh, I don't care. Yeah, I'm an American or I'm German, but you know, the money is here expensive. There it's cheap, so fuck them off. That's someone that doesn't have any kind of principles. In my opinion, just to be a businessman doesn't mean to be an asshole. That's a big difference. So now let us talk about the market.